Hi, I'm Larry Richardson, your step-by-step chef. In this episode of Cooking and Camping with the Step-by-Step Chef, we are going to make road chicken. Not roadkill, road chicken. This is chicken that you just basically fry in a pan, add a little bit of seasoning, and then you can use it in anything. You can use it in salads, in sandwiches, you name it. I mean, you can put it in spaghetti, just, I don't know, add it to anything you want as you're traveling. It's a nice, quick, and healthy protein, and it's as easy to make. It's as easy to make as hamburgers and hot dogs. So come on, let's cook. And here are the ingredients for our road chicken. Remember, road chicken. We have about 3/4 of a pound of boneless, skinless chicken breast here. I'm going to use a 1/4 cup of minced onion. I'm going to flavor this with some Italian seasoning. You can also use any other seasoning that you like. You could use a curry, you could use like a chili powder. There's all kinds of stuff. You can even just leave it as salt and pepper, because you're really going to use this as an ingredient in salads and sandwiches and things like that. So it's not the finished product, so you can do anything you want with it. And I'm in the mood to I'll have this with Italian seasonings, and then I'll throw it on salads. So I'll use about half a teaspoon of Italian seasonings, half a teaspoon of salt, a tablespoon of butter, and that's it. So the first thing I want to do is butterfly the chicken. And be careful if you're doing this. I mean, you could literally just cut this into tiny cubes right now if you wanted to, and fry it up that way. But I'm just going to butterfly it. Just going to make it a little thinner. And this way it'll cook faster too. So I'm just putting my palm down and cutting it up the middle. Remember, be careful. There we go. Getting a nice butterfly to it. The other thing you can do, and this is extra for experts if you want to make this more chicken tender or chicken, a little thinner, you can put it in a bag, like a Ziploc bag or something, and then pound it. Go get your your tent mallet that you put the steaks down, put this in a bag, and you can pound it even thinner. So that's it. That's all we have to do with the chicken. Now, as I'm working with the chicken, I just want to tell you, I do have a bucket of soapy water at the ready, so I can clean things in between. Even though we're out in the woods, we still have to follow safe food handling practices. So let's stay on top of it and stay healthy. In fact, I'm going to go clean my hands now, and then I can clean the cutting board too. So let's just set this aside. I'll get rid of this piece. I don't know why I was playing with this piece of fat. Yuck. I'll be right back. So I washed and rinsed my hands, the cutting board, and the knife. Got to keep it safe. Now we're just going to make our 1/4 cup of minced onion. This will add a little flavor as the chicken's frying. And we just score the top of the onion like this. These are really close lines. And only go as deep as you think you need to get the amount of onion that you need. Okay, and then we just go perpendicular. Right through the other cuts. There we go. And then we just cut down the face, and we end up with our 1/4 cup of onion. Here we go. Nice 1/4 cup. Let's make that clean. Okay, and I'll meet you over at the stove. And here we are over at the old stove, and I'm going to repeat it again, as I do over and over in Cooking and Camping with the Step-by-Step Chef. Read the instructions on how to use a propane stove if you haven't done it before. One of the general rules is if you smell gas building up and you can't get it lit, then stop trying, let the gas dissipate so it doesn't flare up on you, and then try again. And if your stove's broken, don't try it at all. So here we go. I hear the telltale hiss, and it started. These burn very hot, so you don't have to take your hand and put it right down there. You can feel if it's hot or not, and you can see the blue flame too, hopefully. And I'm just turning this down to about a medium heat, It's a little bit hard to give you instructions because every stove, regarding temperature, because every stove is a little bit different, but medium heat works for me. Whoa. So now I'm preheating the pan, getting that butter ready. Drop the tablespoon of butter in there. And I like to use butter on this because it tends to brown the chicken, gives it a little bit more of an attractive color. If I use oil, the chicken might come out looking kind of pale. Here we go. Okay, now I'm going to add the onions. Okay, I'm going to turn it up just a little. It's a little finicky. I have an older, you're working with an older gas canister, and that can impact how fast the pan preheats too. So it does take a little bit of a finesse to get the propane thing down right. And then just about the time you get it right, your propane tank is going to be a little bit empty, and you're going to have to adjust it again. Adjust the knob to get the right temperature. It's part of the fun of camping and cooking. It's how the settlers did it. Although I don't think they had propane stoves, but they just threw another log on or took a log off. I mean, you want to have a difficult time cooking. Try that. Try that right over a fire. Try making your road chicken over a fire. That can't be too easy. And here comes our first piece of chicken. There we go. And our second piece. It's a little tight in this pan, but look, it works. Okay. I'll add the salt, and add salt to taste. Don't over salt it now. Let people do it with their meal. But just add a little salt. Complements the onions. Everything will work in quite nicely. And I'm going to wait until the chicken just browns a little bit before I add the Italian seasonings, just so they don't get burned away. But I can hear that chicken starting to sizzle. And this should take about 10 minutes aside. So I will be back in 10 minutes, but you can see it's starting to sizzle. And here we are at the 5-minute mark. You can see the chicken's really starting to cook. Going to work the onions down a little bit. I really want the onions to cook down. They don't really have to have any presence of their own in this dish. But the chicken's cooking, and in about another 5 minutes I'll flip it. We'll cook it for about another 10 minutes and make sure it's all the way cooked through, and then it is all done. And here we are at the 10-minute mark. Let's give this a flip. See, it's browning up nicely. Butter is doing its magic. Get those onions mixed in. And we're just going to let this fry for another 10 minutes on this side. And then I'll take a piece, cut it in half, make sure that none of the chicken inside is pink, that it's cooked all the way through, and then it's ready to be put into a container, and it would probably be eaten for my lunch. And here we are heading into the final 5 minutes. So this has been cooking for 15 minutes. And we're going to add our Italian seasonings. Just a little bit. Like I told you before, this stuff is really potent. If you've watched my other StepByStepChef videos, I'm sure you're binge watching them this week, you'll see that I always tell you just add a little bit of dried Italian seasonings because they are potent and they will take up the dish. So I'm going to let this cook for 5 more minutes, quick flip it for 1, and then it's ready. So I cooked it for the 5 more minutes. Let's give it that quick flip. Cook it for 1. Just to make sure those Italian seasonings get cooked into it. Oops, that one's trying to get away. There we go. Okay, so we'll give it the final 1 minute, and then we'll give it the big test. We'll cut into it and make sure it's cooked all the way through, but there's no pink chicken in there. Okay, so here we go. Let's get that off the stove, turn off the burner. Always remember to turn off the burner. Okay, now I'll take the larger of the 2 chicken pieces. I don't know why I'm having a problem with this pan toppling today. And we'll do the cut test. So walk over this way. I'll gently put you down. And here we go. Let's make sure that's cooked all the way through. And it is. There is no pink meat there. So I'm just going to chop this up and it'll be ready to be eaten. So congratulations, look at what you just made. You just made delicious road chicken. Why did the chicken cross the road? To get some of this for his salad and sandwich. That's why. Now we finally have the answer. Now if you like this recipe, please visit my website, StepByStepChef.com. There you're going to find over 175 different free printable recipes, and every single one of them has a step-by-step video that goes with it. You're also, because we're doing cooking and camping with the Step-by-Step Chef, going to find videos that will show you how to camp easy and comfortably. I'm going to give you the basics, just like I do with these recipes, and then you can make it your own. So, I'm Larry Richardson. I am your Step-by-Step Chef. Visit StepByStepChef.com, and I'll see you in the next episode.